What's up, YouTube? This is James, and I'm back today with another reaction. We're going to do Royce the 5'9" and King Crooked. I was going to start at the beginning of the new Royce album, but I just got through watching the King Crooked interview with Eminem, and it made me want to check out this song. So it's going to be the first song I react to off of the new Royce album, Allegory. But it's called Tricked, and yeah, I kind of like the album cover here. The United States of America dollar bill with the United crossed out, kind of burnt up. I haven't really looked at it any closer to see if anything else has changed, but looks like this note is known to divide and kill society. I'm sure there's a Detroit, Michigan, let's say R and 9 on the numbers. I'm sure there's other Easter eggs in there I haven't checked out yet, but I'll take a look at those a little later. What do we got at the top there? In God we trust. The GD we trust. In W. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, I'll check that out. See what's going on with that. I'm sure there's all types of Easter eggs in it, but like I said. Just decided, because of the interview that I just watched, that I would check out this one and get into the reaction. Hopefully I don't miss the bars. If I do, let me know in the comments. Go ahead and like the video and hit that subscribe button for more reactions. Probably going to try to react to every song off this album if I get a chance. It may take a while, but yeah, I'll probably go back to the beginning and start there. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into it.
Trick. 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 It's a trick. 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 We've been tricked. It's a trick. Trick. We've been tricked. Tricked into thinking we need that. We need this. Tricked into thinking since we rap, we get rich.
Alright, so trick. It sounds like he's saying basically we, as a society, have been tricked into thinking things that we believe to be true aren't necessarily true. He said tricked into believing that we need that and need this. Coming from a psychology background, one of the things that we learn is how to be like a smart consumer, which is basically a consumer of information, consumer of knowledge, consumer of, you could even just say shopping, like an actual literal consumer, and not to be tricked into any BS. You know, that's where the whole fake news thing comes from, and all of that. That's been going on. You know, it's to educate yourself and figure things out on your own, and don't just like take someone else's word for it, because you're gonna get tricked.
Into thinking since we rap, we get rich. Trick. My nigga, it's a trick. Trick. It's a trick. We've been tricked into thinking that the art is a pie to be split. My nigga, that's a farce, it's a lie, we've been tricked. If you can name a record label guy taking risks, then I could.
If you could name a record label guy taking risks.
Can name a misdirected guy that's been tricked.
Let's go back.
If you can name a record label guy taking risks.
If you could name a record label guy taking risks, you ain't gonna find that, because they out there trying to find rappers that they can pull the wool over your face and trick them into signing a shitty deal.
If you can name a record label guy taking risks, then I can name a misdirected guy that's been tricked.
There you go. Exactly what I just said. Basically, record label guy out there tricking other people into signing deals that they shouldn't. So that's the misdirected guy, I would say.
This is why I don't fuck with them. Only thing they taking is your publishing. Watch you make mistakes in the court of public sin.
He said, watch them take your publishing. Watch you make mistakes in the court of the public. So basically, you know, they're trying to take your publishing rights away from you, because that's where the money's at. They're trying to take your what you own, you know, what you've actually written in your art away from you. And then probably where he's going with this is that the court of public opinion, you know, they want to watch you mess up, because it's in their benefit to have that happen in the end.
Watch you make mistakes in the court of public sin. Got you concentrating on hitting the club, getting spins. Balling off of your budget, that's at your expense. Your A&R spending 5, they deducting 10.
So yeah, basically talking about how the record label wants you to be out there, like having some sort of persona or some sort of idea of who you are, but they ain't paying for it. You know, it comes out of your budget, and they may put up some cash, but they gotta take out more in the end. So you've been tricked.
Trick, 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 we've been tricked. Trick, it's a trick. My nigga, it's a trick. Trick in the thinking we need them to exist. Trick in the thinking that my sister is a bitch. Thinking I can kiss these
So tricked into thinking we need them. I don't know why the play thing here is stuck on there, but anyways, just got to deal with it, I guess. But tricked into thinking that we need them. Basically, you know, saying that you could be an independent artist, you don't actually need record labels. Facts. Tricked into thinking my sister's a bitch. Again, just more of the I guess pop culture, whatever that's put out there, and making it okay to call women that. How we've been tricked.
a bitch. Thinking I can kiss these random bitches on the lips. Thinking that my health is not an issue till I'm sick. Forever have.
Thinking that my health is not an issue till I'm sick. Facts. There's so many different meanings for that right there. Like one is the healthcare system is completely screwed up, obviously, but two is the thought process of pre-existing conditions not being covered under your insurance, and then also, and I don't know this firsthand. It just comes from what friends have said, and from like me observing like friends' parents and stuff. Like, it seems like a lot of African American people don't go to the doctor or don't want to go to the doctor. Like, they don't necessarily trust it. Like, they won't go unless they are sick, so they wait until maybe it's too late instead of going to get like checkups and stuff like that. It could be in a lot of cultures. It could be that way. Maybe not just African American, but that's just kind of what I've been told or what I've noticed. I don't know how true it is. Let me know in the comments if I'm way off base. But yeah, it's kind of double, triple there. It's talking about that. It's talking about the fact that you're tricked into thinking that your insurance shouldn't pay for stuff to make sure you're well. Like, your insurance isn't good unless you go to the doctor because you're already sick, which is a fallacy.
Having issues with my brother, that's a trick. Because we Crips and Bloods, we kill each other, that's a trick. Think because you do crime that you cannot fall victim. Think you can drink and drive, not end up in car collision. From day one at the hospital, they target our children. Say they gon' immunize them, they somehow get autism.
All right, that's the only thing I disagree with so far, right there. Like, I think the anti-vaxxer people are out of their minds. Like, to be completely honest with you, I got my shots, got immunized. Whatever, I can't say the word right now, but everybody I know got their shots. All of my little like siblings, nieces, nephews, everybody's friends of mine, kids got their shots, and they don't have autism. To think that you're getting your shots and then you're getting autism from it, it's just not true. That's a trick. That people got tricked into thinking that. If you think you cannot get your shots, go to China right now where they have the coronavirus and see how that turns out for you. Even though it's not really the same thing, you don't really have a shot for it. But I'm just saying. But seriously though, like that, I mean, that's just not. Unfortunately, I disagree with Royce on that. That's not a trick, man. I mean, the more people that don't get shots, the more prevalent it is that diseases that have been eradicated are going to come back. Because if one person, didn't get their shots, it gets this crazy disease, and they go to school, they could pass it on to one or two other people that didn't, and then it just started. It could be these diseases that can come back, and the science has basically proven that getting your shots does not cause autism. And the numbers, I mean, aren't there. If that's the case, we'd all have autism right now, and it's just not. It's not a fact. It's not. That's a trick. That part of it is a trick, and I hope that's what he's saying because I hope he doesn't believe that.
Immunize them, they somehow get autism. Incriminate myself on record, speaking on my life. Expect to receive blessings out here cheating on my wife. Trick, trick, it's a trick, we've been tricked. Trick, trick, a nigga, you've been tricked. The owners of them prisons are magicians, that's a trick. Voila, disappearing in the system, that's a trick. Trick, trick, my nigga, we been tricked. Trick, trick, my nigga, that's a trick. The pen is a black magic hat, that's a trick. Pull your rabbit ass out and put you back, that's a trick.
So yeah, I mean, he's talking about the prison system and pretty much how the system is set up for certain people, usually African Americans, to be put into prison, and then once you're there, basically get lost in the system. It's hard to get out. Once you're in the system, it's hard to find your way back into, I guess, what quote normal society. It's going to follow you around, make it hard for you to get a job, make it hard for really anything. I mean, try applying for like different things, and pretty much it's a rigged system for my dog says hi, for a lot of different situations. I mean, take like marijuana for example, small amounts of it, not as much anymore, starting to change, but it would get you put in jail for long periods of time, and it just happened that more African Americans were being caught for that. And I mean, there's story on top of story, reason on top of reason, things on top of things that this happens on. I'm just using that as an example, but yeah, that's kind of what I think he's getting at here.
Thinking it's a rite of passage for a black male. Ain't a real nigga till you trick. Thinking it's a rite of passage for a black male. Ain't a real nigga till you enter that jail. It's a trick.
That's another thing. Like you hear a lot. It's like it's almost like a good thing to go to jail. You get like credit, street cred, or whatever for it. Like that's total BS. I mean, it's a trick.
It's a spell. You'll be rich. It's a L. You're bigger than that prison, like Mandela in the cell.
That was nice. You're bigger than the prison, like Mandela in it. So Nelson Mandela obviously went to prison, but was able to come out and become president of South Africa. And he's basically saying going into the cells that you're taking it now could be bigger than that.
Bigger than that prison, like Mandela in the cell. Made you fall in love with sitting in a prison room. Then swept you under the rug with the wicked witch's broom. What about your son sitting in your bitch's womb? Without you, he's a thug. Prison business just resumed.
So what about your son said to your bitch's boom? Without you, he's a thug. Saying the cycle will continue because he's going to be born and not have a dad or have a father figure to look up to. It's a trick.
Trick, trick. My nigga, it's a trick. Trick, trick. We've been tricked, it's a trick. Them 360 deals got them living in your pockets. Now everything you gross is hitting different than your profits. Thinking you the man cause you made $1 million.
They talk about taxes and stuff right here probably. How do you know the money you actually get is different from your profit.
Wave a magic wand, Uncle Sam fill his wallets. Trick, trick. My nigga, you've been tricked. Trick, trick. It's a trick, we've been tricked. Trick, trick. My nigga, you've been tricked. Trick, trick. My nigga, you've been tricked. Tricked into thinking your amendments really matter. The right to bear arms was only made for Grizzly Adams. Trick.
Yeah, I mean, the right to bear arms is, if you really want my opinion, is BS anyways, because it says in the amendment that you have the right to bear arms as I think it's something like well-formed militia, something to that effect. It doesn't actually say you personally have the right to bear arms. Regardless of that, I don't give a damn one way or the other. You want to own guns, you own guns. But I see what he's saying. He's saying it's like made more for like gun owners that are I mean, I'll just say white people like from the South rather than say black people from Chicago. Because I think that's what he's saying. Let me know if I'm off base on that, but that's kind of what I'm hearing about how that was about how he said that and was written. But anyways.
Only made for Grizzly Adams. Trick, trick. My nigga, you've been tricked. Trick, trick. We've been tricked. It's a trick. Thinking your degree will have everything protected. A ghetto sounding name got your resume rejected.
Facts. So you said you think your resume will have everything protected. A ghetto sounding name will have your resume rejected. Yeah, I mean, it's true. You could go to school, get a degree, you think it's all good, and just because your name sounds black, like it, they will toss your resume to the side and say, "Oh, we're not going to look at this person." This institutional racism is basically what it is, and there's like really no way to stop it. I mean, there's been like dumb TV shows where they do like hidden camera stuff on that, and it's time after time after time that it proves to happen. I'm sure there probably even been studies done on it. I'm not 100% on that, but yeah, I mean, it's absolutely the truth that just because you have your degree doesn't mean you're going to get it to work for you because of certain things like names, blah 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 blah.
And politicians lie, got they clever ways perfected. Cause puppet masters still control whoever they elected.
That's a fact. I mean, honestly, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, okay, so the president is elected, but when it really comes down to it, so many things are happening through the CIA, the different government agencies, and like even just the commanders of the military that. I mean, how many decisions is the president really even making? Yeah, I mean, he could do like some pass bills, sign the bills once they actually get to them, if they get passed through Congress and the House or whatever. But and he can do some executive orders. But a lot of the stuff that happens is happening because the government is already being run, and what we see is just the like everyday like BS and the back and forth fighting. Just to keep us distracted, but from how things are really going down and like what's really controlling the government, like such as the Federal Reserve, who runs the money, who runs the military, etc. And the president. I mean, don't get me wrong, the president can set standards and push things through the aren't great or are great, one of the two, and it can push for things to be better. But in the end, he's right. We're tricked because there's a whole lot of other stuff that's controlling and running things, including all the way down to state government, local government, that we don't even think about. You want your minimum wage increase. It could be done on a city level. It could be done on a county level. It could be done on a state level. And people don't even think about that. I vote for those people. It's a lot. Anyways, I'm done preaching now.
Trick. My nigga, we've been tricked.
All right, so that was Royce the 5'9" and KXNG Crooked with Tricked. Hope you enjoyed my reaction to that. I did stop and pause it a lot. Had a lot to say. Let me know in the comments what you thought about my reaction, and if you agree or disagree with me, if I missed some stuff, if you think that I took some things the wrong way, let me know. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel so we can become friends, and you can see the rest of the videos that I post from this album and from all the other artists that I do reactions to. But I really enjoyed the song. Thought it was good. Good start to the album. I hope the rest of it is just as good. And Royce, I'm sure it's going to be dope as fuck. So, yeah, until next time, deuces.